Hello, folks, and welcome back to Sonny Wilburn Recreation Center here on the campus of Rutgers University. This is the 2026 New Jersey Swim Scarlet Short Course Gold Championships. As you can see, scoreboard top left, or I'll just make it scream at you here. 2:39 p.m. here on Friday. It is the start of our session number 3, which is going to be the 11 and 12-year-olds Friday session, starting with event 5, going through to event, I should know this answer and I have to double check it, event 18. So the information is in Meet Mobile. Everything is seated there. We have 2 heats for that event 5, which is the 11-12 200-yard medley relay. That is seeded slowest to fastest, so Heat 2 will have the fastest teams. Low seed time there is a 1:59.90, brought to you by New Jersey Race Club. All right. This session is a timed finals. If you were watching this morning, those were preliminaries where swimmers needed to qualify to the top 16 to come back tonight for the finals. With the younger group, this is purely a timed final. So based on their seeding, they're put into groups. The traditional races are seeded slowest to fastest. The 500 we have at the end, event 17 and 18, those are seeded. Oh, those are also seeded slowest to fastest. Okay. Interestingly. Oh, because these are finals. Okay. All right, so this session slated to start at 2:45, run until about a little after 5, because ultimately the next session starts at 5:45, which is the finals for tonight. All right, the chat is open. See Zach out there. Thanks for joining us today, Zach. Anybody else feels like putting a question, comment, a shout out, a accolade to a coach or swimmer, please put it in there. I'd like to acknowledge everybody that contributes to the great skills and dedication to the teams that are here. All right, if we look behind, again, we're starting with event 5. It is the girls 11-12 200-yard medley relay. So the pool, we're swimming right-hand side only. It's a short course yards. All the starts will start on this right-hand wall, and then they'll swim to the bulkhead. So these 2 cameras will be our primary cameras. We'll look at this at the start. I'll come here for the turn. That is just showing you, basically, we'll zoom back out here. You can see, just showing you that half of the pool. All right, that's where all the racing is. On the left-hand side, that is warm-ups, cool-downs, and so on. If we needed to swim long course or 50 meters Olympic distance, that white bulkhead that you see the official standing on gets slid all the way back to under, geez, I can't win with this camera today, folks. all the way back here under the diving boards or the platform. And then that we basically swim left to right to left, left to right. Okay, that gives us the 50 meters. All right, but again, we're just staying on this right-hand side. So traditionally, if I get the heat sheets, I will do kind of name and lane overlays. Unfortunately, they're not getting updated on the Be Smart website, unless I'm doing something wrong. But so we're starting event 5, 11, 12, 200-yard medley relay. Then we'll go to the boys' side. So odd number girls, even number boys. Then we have 200 breast. Oh, I need to update that information. That's not right down here on the bottom right. Let me shut that off for a second and go and get you that information. Where is it? All right, I'm going to need a second to go dig that out. Again, I don't have heat sheets. Traditionally, I'm provided those. So I'm kind of just working off Meet Mobile. So on your phone or tablet, if you download Meet Mobile, you can then get the information. Do you need a subscription for it? All right, coming up right about the start. I'm trying to catch up here. All right, we're about to start. Now we'll go here. So I'm going to keep the scoreboard on the top left the whole time. As you can see, lane 1 is Scarlet C, lane 2, Scarlet B, lane 3, PTAC B, lane 4, Jersey Shore Y, A. Then we have lane 5, Lifetime B, lane 6, PAA A, and lane 7, Jersey Shore Y, B. So we're underway here with the backstrokers. Again, this is event 5, heat 1. All right, coming back. So 200 yard, each swimmer swimming a 50. That is lane 3, PTAC B, first to transition, second swimmer in there. Pretty even lanes 4 through 7. Third swimmers are going to be entering. On the bottom right of your screen, that white text, that is the order of events that we'll have for this session, starting with event 5 and then going through. Final swimmers entering the pool here on the right-hand wall. It's going to be close coming back home. Looks like lane 3, that's Princeton Tigers. No, lane 4, Jersey Shore Y goes low. 2:05.11. They're dropping time off of 2:06.79. Nice job there, ladies. All right, that was heat 1 of 2. Here we go, heat 2. We have Jack, Whitewater, Princeton A, Jersey Race Club, Fanwood Scotch Plain A, Metro, Cougar, and Scarlet A in 8. Okay, 1 through 8, 1 at the top of your screen, 8 at the bottom. First swimmer's about to go, the backstrokers. All right, second swimmer's about to enter. All right, all the lane assignments is in Meet Mobile. So this is event 5, heat 2. You can see on the scoreboard, lane 1 top, Jersey Aquatic. Scarlet A is in 8, closest to us. First to transition at a 1:02.86 cumulative is lifetime. I'm combining words there. That is lane 6, your lead group. After the race is done, we'll have individual names for the relay members in Meet Mobile. All right, lifetime A continues to lead there. Freestyler about to enter. About a second lead there, 131.94, 132.81 over Princeton. Looks like Lifetime's gonna hold on to it. Lane 6 followed by lane 3, so Lifetime goes low. They go sub 2. They came in 2:01.38. They go 1:58.50 and a 1:59.72 for Princeton. Came in 2:01.23. Nice job, ladies. Here we go. Event 6, heat 1 of 2. Scarlet D, Excel A, and Scarlet C. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so one other heat. Again, I don't have heat sheets to share with you folks. I apologize. That's the situation. I don't see them updated. Oh, now I just got them. All right. So again, off the website, BeSmart, BeSmartTinc.com. I put a link to it in the chat. Oof, what's going on here, folks? All right, I'm just getting settled here, so when we move into the individuals, I'm a little better equipped. Give me 1 second. That's better. All right, this is heat 1 of 2. All right, last swimmers enter. Oh, no, we're coming into the finish. All right, top right of your screen is the lane assignments about to go here. I don't think I'm going to get this done in time. All right, we'll see this. So after they start, just real quick, I finally got the information uploaded. We'll just give you, here's the lane assignments with the seed times. So if somebody is doing something funky with the graphics, you now have that. All right, this is the final relay. Then we're going to move into individual races. Those are the names you see top right. So the orange, if you're new watching my streams, do things a little different. Top right is the orange text that I put on the screen. That is the swimmers in the next race. That could be the next heat or the first heat of the next event. All right. And you'll see in a second what I do with that. Hopefully you find it valuable. All right, so in the pool, lane 1, top of the screen, lane 8 at the bottom. The black lane lines, you'll see there's 3 of them. That's indicating lanes 4 and 5. So lane 4 is leading over lane 6 here. Lane 4 towards the top of your screen. All right, we're pretty lane 6, great leg there. He goes 27-13. Jersey Aquatic Center swimmer. Lane 4 having a good first 25, first to turn. That is Lifetime A. We'll have a finish here on the right-hand wall. They go low, 24-22 coming home. Nice swim there. Lifetime anchor, 152.24 for them. All right, so now we're going to move to individual races, and you'll see the white text. That is the lane assignments for the swimmers.
There will now be a 3-minute break.
Oh.
And then number 7 will resume at 2:58.
All right, so they said 3-minute break. It is 2:56. So again, scrambling here to get set up. Hopefully we're all good now. Hopefully, if you go to the Be Smart website and somehow force it to refresh, which I can't. Wish I knew how to do this on a tablet. For some reason, website's not refreshing. If you're on your computer, go to Be Smart website. You'll see the Friday 11-12 heat sheets there. I got it on this computer. All right, so we'll move into individual races. As I said, it's a couple-minute break. So we go to event 7, girls 11-12, 200 breaststroke. Again, everything is in yards. If I accidentally say meters, say, Mike means yards. So at 200, it's going to be 8 lengths of the pool. this first race in event 7, heat 1 of 4. We have Sophia, Leah, Ella, Carlise, and Ira. You see their names and their lane assignments. A couple things I need to fix. Why is Sophia the F, and for some reason the F in this PDF file gets messed up? All right, so heat 1 of 4 will be our next race. And then when I get into the swing of things, top right, now those names are updated with the entries for heat 2. And we'll try and work through that as we go, as long as we don't have any hiccups. If anybody has questions or comments, suggestions, the chat's open. Or you can email us, commonguysportsnj@gmail.com. All right, officials whistles, here we go. Heat 1 of 4. Again, I leave the scoreboard on the whole time. Try and keep it out of the way. But if you are looking at individual splits for the swimmer, that does give you that capability. All right, so small field here, lanes 2 through 6. We'll go to this camera. We'll take you back so you can see the wall and the turn order. So that's Leah in 3, first to turn. So again, this is a different structure. This is purely finals. Everybody came in with their seed times. They're seeded based on that. And then ultimately their time that they race here will be the time that's used to rank. I believe the top 16 are getting points for this 11 and 12-year-old. And the other structure is the older kids are doing a morning preliminary to qualify to come back for this evening to swim in the finals. And those are top 16 plus 2 alternates are for that function. That is our lead swimmer in lane 3, Leah. So the girls will be at 150 yards when they get back to the right-hand wall. They'll have 50 more to go, so another down and back to make up to 200 yards. All right, this is going to be a finish on the right-hand wall. Leah in 3. She came in 2:53.89. She's dropping on that. 2:50.01. That's 3.88. Nice improvement, Leah. All right, here we go. Heat 2. Here's our lane assignments. All right, now that 2 is underway, top right of your screen are the entries for heat 3. Lane 1, top of your screen. And 2 is Emily. 3, Cassie. 4, Madison. 5, Kaylee. 6, Naledi. 7, Joyce. And 8, Ella. Closest to us, bottom of the screen. If anybody is just joining us, we started with event 5, which was a medley relay. At any point, you can go back and rewind and then rewatch that, or it'll be available to rewatch tonight, tomorrow, the next day. All right. This will be the 150-yard turn. That is our swimmer in lane 4, Madison. 158.96 cumulative at the 150. We'll just take this turn, and then we'll go wide. Again, this is lane 4, Madison. We'll see the rest of the field turning here on left side. Then we'll swing down to the start end. We'll catch Madison on the finish. Madison came in 248.96. She goes 242.63. Over 6-second improvement. Ann up in 1, 244.21. Seed time for Ann was 2:52. That's 8 seconds better. That is awesome. This is Heat 3 swimmers, the white text with their lane assignments. Top right are the entries for Heat 4 of 4, final heat. So in the pool, Eileen, Claire, Jane, Noel, 1 through 4. Michaela, Gianna, Amber, and Gabriella, 5 through 8. Again, lane 1, top of your screen. Lead swimmer here, lane 5, Michaela. That is 5 through 1 in that view. We'll get you everybody else here. That is 125 yards complete on the left side. We're at 150. Michaela came in 2:44.59 seed time. She just turned sub 2 on a 42 split. Again, she came in 2:44.59, dropping a punch on that. Nice swim. 2:38.43. That's 6 seconds. Nice improvement. And here's our entries for Heat 4, white text overlays of those lanes. Then we'll have 4 heats for the boys. Load time 2:38.43. Top right are the 3 boys in the first heat. So point of reference, record here, 2:21.37. Stephanie Farrell in 2005. So obviously none of these girls born then. When that record was set. All right, this is our first 50 in this heat, 4 of 4. Leah, Abigail, Reagan, Sophia, 1 through 4. Annie, Maya, Kira, and Avery are your 5 through 8. So as I mentioned, the chat is open. I want to give a quick shout out. Earlier, somebody posted Amanda Bramley, older age group, but swimming in, she's the first seed tonight in the 100 free. She became an Eagle Scout recently, and it's the first female scout in her hometown of Rivervale. So congratulations to Amanda. If you know Amanda and have not recognized that, please reach out. That's just fabulous accomplishment. So congratulations, Amanda, and maybe tune in later and see her swim. That is lane 5, first to turn. That's Annie Brennan. We don't want to see the wall. Here's Annie. This will be the final 25 for Annie. 2:08.29. Annie C, 2:31. As I mentioned, the record, 2:21. Annie's just shy off that, but dropping a bunch off a 2:31 seed. She goes 2:26.04. Nice swim, Annie. Again, 2:31 seed, 2:26.04. Those dashes for Sophia just represent that the backup button was pushed. So as part of the timing system, when the swimmers come in, they touch the wall. But as a backup to that, there's a button that one of the volunteers you see in the lovely bright green R Town literally says R, like the Rutgers R and then town. R Town vest. One of them has a clipboard, the other one has the button, which is tied into the timing system, and both of them have a manual stopwatch as a means of backup should something fail. And then, so when a swimmer finishes, there's really 4 times recorded, one off each of those stopwatches I mentioned. Another time is recorded when the person behind the block pushes the button. And then the 4th time, which is really the most official, is when the swimmer hits the touchpad. All right, so against the wall, if you're not familiar, we'll just stay here for a second. So this black part that you see Colorado that's overhanging the top, that is the touchpad. It's only about 2 feet tall or 2 feet deep. So if a swimmer comes in too low and doesn't register on it because they're too low, or if they're way off to the side, it might not register. So that's when that backup plunger or timer is utilized. All right, here's the guys coming back for the 100. Yeah, I concur. Go, Michaela. Go, Mickey. We had some great races already. One of the parents was saying, well, it is 3:13 here. One of the parents was saying some of the swimmers for this middle session came early this morning, like the 7 o'clock. So hopefully they're able to shake off that little funk of being around until swimming here at 3 in the afternoon. But if that's the case, I don't know if many are. I know Rutgers is on spring break. I don't know what younger schools are, but better than being at school. All right. Luca, Ace, and Max are your three swimmers here. Let's get real close here with Luca and Ace, and we'll go back and get Max. Here comes Max. And this is the final 25. So the record here set in 2014 by Ian Liu, Liu, 2:11.81. So, I didn't update names, folks. I am talking too much. All right, now on the top right of the screen, names are updated. They'll get refreshed here shortly. And we'll get you the logos. Okay, lane 1, lane 8 is empty. So the reason being, there was 3 swimmers in the previous heat. So it's purely a math problem. So with an 8-lane pool, you're going to have remainders if it's not purely divisible by 8. And then you don't want to swim just 1 or 2 swimmers. So in a sense, they pulled down 2 swimmers from heat 2 here to put them into heat 1. All right. Names are now updated for heat 3 of 4 on the top right. And then on your screen on the bottom right in that white text, that is the menu of events. Again, we started with 5. We did 5 and 6. We did 7, and then this is going to conclude 8 shortly with our fourth heat. And then you'll see where we're going after that. And the times you see there are estimates on the bottom right. That is the estimated start time for it. Oh, and then in between, just a little extra information for you. So on the next one, you'll see it says finals 11, girls 11, 12, 100 butterfly. Then it says 23 and 3. So it's 23 entries, 3 heats. So if you can read into that crypticness, we're swimming an 8-lane pool. And then provided there hasn't been a lot of scratches, that is just an estimate of the number of entries. So you can see we have 49 entries there for that 50 breaststroke for event 15. All right, giving you a little extra information, counting on you that you can understand it and find it valuable. All right. This is going to be the 150 turn. Guys still have 2 lengths to go down and back. All right, so that was Blake at the top of the screen. We'll drop in, get really tight with Brandon and Mateo here. And we're coming into the finish. Looks like lane 6 going low. That's Mason 245. Dropping 5.5 off of 250.76. Nice swim, Mason. All right, so that was heat 2. Here's the names for heat 3. They're getting updated slowly. 3 is underway. Names for 4, top right, the final heat. So if you weren't with us the morning session, full disclosure, I brought my own thermometer today. I'm at the top of the stands, so it does get warm. And every time you watch these broadcasts, they always say, oh, it's beautiful, 64 degrees outside. But that doesn't much matter because it is really 64. It's crazy. Woke up this morning to 30 degrees. But it is 84 degrees where I'm sitting, according to this small thermometer, and at 37% humidity. So I think if I do a little research, I could probably find out. It's probably Tampa, Florida weather right here where I'm sitting. So wanted to share that with you. So trying to stay hydrated, and we'll get through this day. This is Heat 4. Vincent, Jaden, Marcus, Evan, Caden, Mark, Garcia there in 6. Santi and Alexander, your swimmers first to turn, though. Lane 3 at the 100. That's Ethan Park. Let's take a look up here, lanes 1 through 4. And then we'll give you 5 through 8. Again, lane 3, Ethan Park, first to turn. All right, this will be 160, 150, 160. I was reading a number and I accidentally said 160, 150 yards. 2 lengths to go. Ethan in lane 3 continues to lead here in this Heat 3. One more heat. Those names are on the top right. That's our final heat up next. Ethan in 3 came in 2:45.24. Dropping about 7 seconds off that. Again, those dashes don't represent a disqualification or anything. It's purely that the backup time was pushed before the pad. So we'll have to double check in the Meet Mobile when we get an official time for him. Final heat. Names on the top right are for the girls. Heat 1 of 2 up next for the, oh my gosh, where is it? 200-yard IM. First return's going to be lanes 3, 4, and 5 here. That's Marcus, Evan, and Caden, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's get up and close and personal here. All right, you'll see they're turned. Here's the rest of the field turning. Take you back. This will be 150. 2 lengths to go. First to turn there, Marcus split a 35.90. Look at that, almost 2.5 seconds better than the field. finish here with Marcus, then we'll go wide. We'll just see him come into the wall, and then we'll switch. Nice job, Marcus. 2:25.03. That is 7-second improvement off of 2:32.15. Great job. And that'll be our final heat. That's our low time. Great job. All right, here is heat 1 of 2. Girls, 11, 12-year-old, 200-yard IM, event number 9. I'm sorry, did they say we're taking a break? I should have. This is
There will
supposed
now be a 5-minute break.
Oh.
Event 9 will resume at 2:28.
All right, 5-minute break, 2:28. All right, while we have a second, we can come down here, see our swimmers getting ready again. They should match the names on the top right. Why did the scoreboard go to event? Oh, it didn't update to event 9 yet. So the top right, the orange text, we should have Kaylin in 2, Gabriella in 3. That should be 2. So again, look at that orange text. So there's should be Kaylin, maybe Red Cap, Fanwood Scotch Plains. Yep, SFPY, Fanwood Scotch Plains, YMCA. Scarlet, Olivia here with the black suit. Lauren O'Brien from WW, maybe the red shirt. No, maybe the purple cap. Sorry, that's Lauren. Mackenzie here, New Jersey Race Club. And here we go with the spider suit behind the flag is Adriana. All right. Those are our swimmers as they get ready. Again, 5-minute break. At any point, if you need to pause your stream, it doesn't affect anybody else. Or if you wanted to rewatch something, you can do that easily. All right, again, I'm going to go back to this view so we're ready for the start. All right, 200-yard IM, event number 9. We're underway. Kaylin, Gabriella, Olivia, Lauren, Mackenzie, and Adriana. So 200 yards, this is 8 lengths of the pool. It's going to be 50 or 2 lengths of each stroke. Again, this is heat 1 of 2. Record holder here is Emily Thompson from 2018. Emily swam this 2:05.84 as an 11 and 12-year-old. Folks, I'll be honest with you. A 2:05.84 for an 11 and 12-year-old is awesome. 2:05.84 for a high schooler is awesome. So just some perspective on that time for a 200-yard short course IM. And Emily Thompson is swimming this weekend at the NCAA championship meet from Atlanta. All right, this is going to be halfway mark. That is lane 4, Olivia Soa. All right, small addition, bottom center of your screen. I tried to see if, hopefully this doesn't cause any issues. I added a little helper there so you can see the event and heat number a little bit clearer. I don't know if I make this any bigger. All right, I don't know if that helps or not. Always open for suggestions. I leave the full scoreboard on so you can see everything, but maybe it's a little hard to read. All right, so Olivia's already turned in 4. She's on her freestyle. I'll try and catch a little of her. Sorry, I've been doing the other thing. 25 to go at this point for Olivia. You'll see the rest of the field coming down and turning. Olivia came in 2:29.05. We'll jump back. We'll get the finish with her. It's a nice improvement. 2:24.51. That's 3.5 seconds. Good job, Olivia. Second to the wall is Gabriella in 2:30.10. That was heat 1. Here's heat 2 of 2. Low time, Madeline Hackett. And again, why CBGC? Folks, I apologize. I've been trying to rectify that logo, and I don't know what's causing it not to work. All right, final heat for the girls. We have 1 heat for the boys up next. Those names you see top right. Salina, Serena, Andrea, and Madeline, 1 through 4, and then Julianne, Reagan, Jane, and Ava. That is lane 4, Madeline, first to turn. Very steady head there. Nice stroke, Madeline. She's leading at the 100-yard mark. We have Preston free to go. halfway through the breaststroke here. All right, ladies will be at 150 on the right side, 2 lengths, 1 lap of freestyle. Lane 5 having a strong breaststroke there, 39.78 for Julianne. You can see the distance she made up there. We'll take a tight turn with the ladies. First to turn, Madeline, then Julianne. Take you wide to see the rest of the field. All right, Madeline right around her seed. Nice swim there, low time. Congratulations. All right. So barring any disqualifications, Madeline will be low time overall. Here it is, heat 10, event 10, heat 1 of 1. Wow. Record here, 159.77, Richard Pawlowski back in 2019. In the pool will be Vincent Alexander, Evan Tyron, Justin Marcus, Santi, and Wyatt. Heat 1 of 1, then we have 100 butterfly. The girls in the first heat of that 100 butterfly, names are on the top right. 3 heats there, starting next. That is lanes 4 and 5, Tyron and Justin. Tyron to the top of your screen. Justin's closest to us. Guys are at 100 yards, transition to breaststroke. All right, we're on freestyle here. Lead swimmers 4 and 5, Tyron and Justin. Both 143 cumulative at that point. We'll have 25 to go off the left wall. Tyron came in 114. Justin came in, 214 and 216. Both go 213. Nice drop, guys. Almost 3 full seconds there for Justin. 3 full second improvement. Almost. And good sportsmanship, shaking hands. All right, so that's going to be the end of event 10. Moving to event 11, 100-yard butterfly. Slated to start at
There will be a 5-minute break.
All right, we're doing a 5-minute break.
Will resume at 2:42.
All right, it is 3:38. 5 minutes. All right, hope you're enjoying the coverage. Question, comments, feel free to put it in the chat. We are back for Saturday and Sunday also. So overall, this is day 2 of the meet. Thursday night had the 1650 or the mile. A few of those sessions towards the end. All right, we're in a short break. So for the upcoming event, event 11, we have 3 heats. Event 12 for the boys, we have 5 heats. All right, folks, if anybody is just joining or rejoining, we are just in a short break. We're spacing this out as swimmers will be swimming multiple events. Want to give them ample time to cool down or potentially stretch and warm up. Yeah, so no joke, 64 degrees outside now in Piscataway. And unfortunately, my little $5 thermometer is saying 86 degrees here inside. So it's cooler, obviously, down by the pool. We are at the top of the bleachers. So little convection heat rising here, but be curious if any of the swimmers, if you ask them tonight what they thought. Obviously, the water's going to be cooler. All right, I'll give you a little. Here's the entries here for event 11 will be our next race. Heat 1 of 3. Record holder here in this 100-yard butterfly, Felicia Lee, all the way back 2005 in a 56:16 time. That is just awesome. Our low times coming in, seed time, Abby Fang, 58.8. About 2.5 seconds, 2 3/4 off that record, but in the neighborhood. All right, here we are, folks. Here we go. Event 11, Heat 1, the girls 11, 1200 fly. Heat 1 of 3. Names are already updated top right for the Heat 2 entries. Ariana, Taylor, Leah, Rhea, 1 through 4. Then we have Natasha, Maya, Amber, and Mia. 100-yard butterfly, 4 lengths, down, back, down, back. That is lane 5. Natasha first to turn, turning 31.66. Into the wall, 108.53 for Natasha. That's over 2-second drop. Came in 110.60. Nice improvement. Again, in these timed finals, somebody from this first heat could ultimately, place and get points. Do not need to be in the final heat. Here we go, heat 2. Names top right are updated for 3. Annie, Ari, Casey, Julia, Ella, Isabella, Adriana, and Nia. So if you're not familiar, lane 4 of a particular heat will be the seed time, the lowest seed time. So the software intentionally puts the lowest time in 4, then the next lowest in 5, then 3 and 6, 2 and 7, 1 and 8. So it'll fan out like that. And that's when you get this kind of chevron or arrowhead shape, because lane 4 has the lowest seed time. So if everybody's swimming to exactly their seed time, that's the kind of shape you're expecting. All right? But that's why we swim it, because somebody like lane 2, Ari, having a good swim. She came in 109.76. She drops over 2 seconds, goes 107.52, but the low time, 107.23 to Ella. All right, here's Michaela again. I think we have some fans out there. Ladies are underway. This is our final heat, heat 3. 5 heats for the boys. Their heat 1 is next. So in the pool, Quinn, Andrea, Madeline, Abby, Julianne, Michaela, Nanami, and Selena. Oh, sorry. They're ready turn 4 and 5. Couple high 28s. That's just awesome. Abby and Julianne. Let's get a little. There's Abby and Julianne. Shoulder to shoulder as they turn. Pretty tight here. Lane 4 looks to go low. 100.82 for Abby. Just off her seed. Julianne goes 101.14, dropping a little bit. Nice swim, ladies. All right, heat 1 for the guys. Big drop there. Wait, hold on. Andrea in 2 came in 104.38, goes 102.90. Great swim there. Heat 1 of 5. Names for 2, top right. Record here, Dare Rose from 2015, 53.23. Again, this is heat 1 of 5. Everybody came in 111s. Dropping time there, lane 4 and 5. We didn't get a clean touch for Luca in 3. But they'll work on looking at the stopwatches and so on and making sure we get them a good time. CBGCNJ. I don't know why that's not working. And I apologize to you, Wenkai. Official said step down. CBGC, CB. All right, here we go. All right, for the boys, this is Heat 2. Mateo, Jack, Cedric, Blankai, Sefer, Nike, Aiden, and Daniel. Those are your swimmers in the pool. First to turn, lane 5. All right, low time on the board is lane 5. Sefer. Here is Heat 3. Names for 4 on the top right of your screen. Kean, Jack, Luca, Jaden, Augustine, Augie, Nick, and Eric. That was Heat 3, low time there. Nick, Tam, and 7, 106.36. That's 2.5 seconds. Nice improvement, Nick. This is Heat 4 of 5. Underway with 4 of 5. All right, I might have figured out the CBGC logo. Hopefully we're that's behind us. Here we are. The guys just turned at the 50. There'll be 75. Keep an eye on lane 1 up there. Leo Got to give him a little airtime here. It's really far away. That is Leo Zhu. Came in 107.66. He goes 104.47. Nice job. Second of the wall, 104.65 for Logan Power. Great swim. This is our Heat 5. Caden, Austin, Brandon, pardon me, Eddie, Missy, Justin, Thiago, and Cruz. Congratulations to Cruz's older brother, CJ, friends, named first team this year for Del Barton Swim. Lane 4, turning first. Finish my thought there. 26.97 for Eddie on the low front half. $75. This is the final 25 here. Eddie in 4 is going low. He's going sub 1. Nice job. Eddie came in 100.24. He goes 58.01. That's huge. That's over 2-second drop. That's awesome. All right. I don't know if we're taking a pause or not. Let me get the names for you just in case. Top right, where I guess we're not. We're hearing whistles. Sorry, I was a little slow. 100-yard freestyle, event 13. The girls, 11-12. 3 swimmers, Adriana, Charlotte, and Elizabeth. Record holder here is Emily Thompson, 52.41. That was accomplished back in 2018. Three swimmers here in this Heat 1. Heat 1 of 4. Names for the swimmer in 2 are top right. Final turn here. $100 free. Ladies are coming home. Low time there, 100.82 for Charlotte. It's a nice little improvement there. This is Heat 2. 7 swimmers. Two in the water, names for 3, top right. Could be lane 7, lane 5. Lane 5, Deanna goes low, 100.74 in that heat 2. Here's our entries for heat 3. One swimmer under the minute mark, Zoe Bramley. Names on the top right are the entries in the final heat. Up next, lane 4, first to turn. That is Zoe, 28.25. Zoe came in 59.44. She's dropping on that. Nice job. Final heat, heat 4. Ladies are underway in this final heat. First heat for the boys. Up next, top right. That is Sophia Mukov in 4, first to turn. Girls are making their way back. Looks like Sophia's gonna go low. To her left, Abby Fang will be next to the wall, 55.56. Nice job. 55.51. Sophia improving 1/10 of a second. Nice job. A lot of sub-1s. Great swim, ladies. All right, heat 1 for event 14, boys, 11-12, 100-yard freestyle. Names for heat 2, top right. Again, this is heat 1 of 3. Lane 4 and 6, first to turn, couple 28s there, Arthur and Brock. They continue to lead. Brock shortened up that little gap that Arthur had. Low time, 58.98 to Brock. That's a whole second improvement. Nice job. 1.01 to be exact. Heat 2 of 3. This is our heat 2 in the pool. Names for 3, top right. I feel like some of those names in that next heat just swam, so fortunate to have that additional break in between. Reese and Cruz are two that come to mind. Hudson Cho in 4 is going to take this heat. Came in 57.59. He dropping half a second. 57.16. Nice job. Oh, didn't mean to do that. This is final heat. Final heat here, and then we're going to 50 breaststroke. See those names top right? That's our first heat for the women. Tight one here, lanes 4 and 5. Lane 4 gets it 53.81 for Cole, just out touching Tyron. 53.81 for Cole. Where are you? 14.3. 53.44.
There will be a short 5-minute break.
All right, 5-minute break. Now we're going to event 15 when we return, which is 50-yard breaststroke. All right, this is Mike. I'm going to step away for a couple seconds. I'm going to give you the starting grid. Oh, you have it. All right, we can put it on the screen. What we got? I am Gracie. We're cheering from Montefiore, New York. Assuming. Glad you can join us today. All right, so it is 4:08. The next race slated to go. Why does this not have times on it? So we're going in a couple minutes. This is going to be event 15, 50 breaststroke. 7 heats, qualifying time 37:99. Record Ashley Evans from 2001. Again, the period when none of these kids were born. 30:38 is the record. Arlo seed time 31:14. Reagan Walsh. That is in the neighborhood. All right, so somebody remember that 30:38. Maybe we'll see a record drop. Seeing records drop. Talk about that. NCAA women's swimming is going on right now. The swimming championships for the college. Ladies down in Atlanta at Georgia Tech, and Jersey's own Anna Mosch swims for Virginia. Swam a 1:39.8, I believe, in the 200 free. That's the second fastest ever, just behind Missy Franklin. Sorry, folks, the heat's getting to me. I'm a little slow here. All right, here we go. Event 15, heat 1 of 7. Three swimmers in the pool. Names for the second heat are on the top right of your screen. All right, this is a 100-yard race, a 50-yard race, down and back. I am sorry. Event 15. Close one here between Emily and Cameron. 37.90, 37.64. Cameron goes low. That was heat 1. Here we are with heat 2. Oh, sorry, I didn't get those shut off. Oh, it's weird. All right, those names were getting refreshed, and I don't know, for some reason it didn't shut off. All right, we're coming back for the finish here in heat 2. Lane 3, lane 6, who's it gonna be? Or lane 1 in the mix. Lane 6 goes low, 36.97 for Ella. It's almost a full second drop for her off of 37.72. All right. Official said stand. This is heat 3. Names for 4, top right. Might have a little outside smoke there. Lane 8, keep an eye as we switch. Unfortunately, people are standing there. I can't do much about that. Tight race here. Who's gonna go low? Lane 2, Mia. 37.46 seed. She goes 36.51. Nice drop. This is heat 4. Names for 5, top right. It's our lane 3 swimmer going low, and she goes 34.97. That's 2.8, 2.9 improvement. She came in 36.84. That's awesome. Heat 5 in the water. Names for 6 are updated. Oh, sorry, jumping the gun. Emery, Kaylee, Madison, Avery, Sophia, Olivia, Emily, Gabriella are the swimmers in the pool. Madison goes low, 34.34. She came in 35.37. That's 1.03 improvement. Nice job, Madison. That's 5, heat 5. Here we go at 6. Six of 7s in the pool. Names for 7, top right in orange. Looks like lane 7's going low. That is Sky. She goes 33.96. Nice drop. That's 1 second exactly. Came in 34.96. Thank you for making the math easy, Sky. Final heat for the ladies. Top right are the names for heat 1 for the guys. Reagan Walsh, low time here, 31.14. Lane 4. Oh, shucks. Three, 4, 5, maybe 4. Yes, on the touch, 31.63 for Reagan. Nice swim. This is the boys' event 16, heat 1. Heat 1 of 6. Names for 2 are already updated, top right. Record here is Ethan Hand from 2024, 28.01. Low time there is Isaac in 6, 35.06. That's a big drop there. Isaac came in 37.35. Nice job. All right, again, bottom right, you can see the menu of events coming up. Just those 500 frees after this. Next heat, names top right. 2's in the pool. Those names are for 3 on the top right.
Get ready for the next room.
Lane 6 going low. That is Leo Zhu, 34.74 for Leo. That's over 2 seconds. He came in 36.89. Nice drop, Leo. All right, 3 is in the pool. Names for 4 already updated. Too close to call, maybe. Lane set. No, lane 4, William gets the touch, 35.87. It's about a half a second improvement on that for William. Came in 36.28. Heat 4 of 6. All right, 4 of 6 is about to finish. Names for 5, top right. Lane 1, keep an eye up there. Ethan Park goes 33.88. Dropping a bunch off of 36.15. Nice swim, Ethan. Yay, we got the CBGC logo finally. It's just a red cap, but we got it working. Small victories, folks. Small victories. Underway here in Heat 5. Names for 6, top right. Here in Heat 6, maybe lane 6 goes low, and he does. 33.65 for Maxim. That's 1.05 improvement off of 34.69. Nice job. This is the final heat. Then we'll go to 500 free. Top right is the 3 swimmers in that first heat of the 500 free. In this final heat, who's going low? Eddie Cooper in 3, maybe? Yes, yes, sir, 31.39. Nice job, Eddie. Almost a full second, came in 32.34. All right, here we go with that 500 free, no delay. Heat 1 of 3, so the 500 freestyle. All right, I don't see counters down at the far end yet. So if we take a look down here, the counter blocks are there. The physical people doing the counting is not there. So this particular race was slated to go off at 4:38. It's 4:23, so we're rocking and rolling. All right, here we go. Heat 1. Clarissa, Eleanor, and Kaylin. This is going to be 20 lengths of the pool, 10 laps. Ladies are underway here. Let's give you... All right, if you're not familiar, those volunteers or friends, teammates, are putting down counting blocks. Those are flip boards or placards, depending what you prefer to call them. They're going to count up all odd numbers at that end, indicating lengths complete. So when you see a 1 at that end, it means a 2 at this end. Then we'll see a 3, and then it'll be a 4 at this end. We don't have counters here. But we have the scoreboard displaying the lengths. And that's going to be the lengths complete for the lead swimmer. Okay. Everybody's going to be putting down a 3 here. So 3 times 25, 75 yards complete. All right, the names for Heat 2, top right. Record here for the 11 and 12-year-olds, Chloe Kim, 4:57.75. She did that on January 17th, 2020. So that was a month or two before COVID. Qualifying time 6:03. So this will be 6 lengths complete on the right side, or 150 yards. Names on the top right are the swimmers for Heat 2 of 3. And if we look forward, we have 2 heats for the boys. Swimmers should be all seeing 7s, and they do. Small side note, some Europeans and Australians will count down. So you ever see that where they're starting with a 9, like first time down, they'll show them a 19. That is what's going on there. At the NCAAs, they actually will have officials doing that. Here, though, when you have a teammate or a coach, what you'll see is maybe shaking of it, trying to motivate the swimmer, tell them to pick up the pace. And also larger meets, when they have the officials, they kind of use a extension pole so they don't have to hunch over and get into the pool. And then they will also kind of put it in the corner of the lane such that the swimmer isn't overly distracted. And then the last note on this, some of the older kids from the Scarlet team do not use counters. And I actually saw that earlier, where they're not using counters and everything is in their head. And that was also during the 1650, which is 66 lengths. So I would have trouble with that. All right, 11 complete. This will be 300 yards complete up here on the right-hand side. Again, this is Heat 1 of 3. Clarice there in lane 3, cameraman's best friend. She breathes both ways, so we can always get a face shot. All right, this is 14 of 20 complete. This will be 16 of 20 or 400 yards complete on the right wall. All right, bell lap here is going to lane 5. Kaylin. So only 1 bell. So for the lead swimmer, indicating 2 lengths to go, 1 lap, 50 yards to go. We'll take you to the cross angle. I always think this is easier view to see finish order. All right. Clarice comes back, 5:57.09. That's a nice drop off a 6:02.98 seed. Kaylin goes 5:57.83, dropping off a 6:01. And then Eleanor in the middle's right on her seed. Oh, shucks. I didn't hit enter. Sorry, folks. This is Heat 2. I'll show you these names now, and then shut them off, and we'll jump down the far end. But shut them off. This is Heat 2 of 3. Names for the final heat, top right. Amber, Cassie, Jane, and Ella, 1 to 4. And then Olivia, Naya, Charlotte, and Charlotte. Charlotte McNulty in 7. Charlotte Kelly in 8. Names for the final heat of the girls, top right. All right, as the girls make their way back, this will be a 100-yard split. First to turn, lane 2, 105.51 cumulative for Cassie. Let's give a little isolation here. We'll show you the top half of the pool, and then we'll do the bottom half. This is lane 1 through 4, one against the wall. Here we are with 5 through 8. This is a 150-yard complete at this point. Lane 5, that's Olivia Soa, and lane 2, Cassie Yang with the lead at this point. 7 lanes complete on the right wall. Eight lanes, 200 yards complete. Oh. All right, everybody saw 9 at the left side. We'll be at 250 yards here, right side. Even here in lanes 4 and 2 and 5. Sorry, Cassie in 2, Olivia in 5 at the 250. We'll swing all the way down to the other end. That is 11's going down in the water for the swimmers. We'll be at 12 lengths, 300 yards on the right wall. All right, we see 13s all going down. All right, one thing you'll notice is the counters over there on the wall, some of them will flip as soon as the swimmer touches and turns. Correct protocol is to wait until the swimmer's at the far end. And that's just so the official can make sure that everybody is counting correctly. All right, let's go back here. We'll see a little 15 lengths complete. All right, it'll be 400 yards here. To the left of your screen is Cassie. To the right is Olivia. Lane 2, lane 5. We'll have a bell lap next time down. Looks like it'll go to lane 5. Olivia Soa. See the official here, white shirt. All right, that's the lead there for the low time. We'll give you a wide view. Everybody else turning. 50 to go off that right wall. All right, here we are, final turn. And Olivia into the wall. She goes low, 5:44.94, 5:47 for Cassie. That's 9-second improvement for Olivia. 9 plus, it's like 9.2. Cassie 5:58 down to a 5:47. That's 10 plus for Cassie. Nice job, ladies. Oh, yeah. Final heat. Here we are with our heat 3. And as I said, we have 2 heats for the boys. Harper, Quinn, Annie, Sophia, 1 through 4. Then we have Andrea, Nanami, Eva, I guess, Julia. Names on the top right are heat 1 of 2 for the boys. And I mentioned it a little earlier. The record for this, held by Chloe Kim from 2020, 4:57. So, folks, I always like to give a little perspective. Again, for an 11, 12-year-old going 4:57, majority of high school meets don't have a swimmer going sub 5 in a 500 free. So, and I say majority, I mean strong majority. And that's for girls' times. So, boys will do 4:30, 4:40 in high school. There are girls, Audrey Devereaux, I should look it up. I think she does a 4:30 something, 500. And she's a junior in high school. So that is our lane 4 and then 3 and 5 are the leaders as we come back to the 200 split. Annie Brennan is in 3, Sophia Lukov in 4, Andrea Chukaralao. I'm adding syllables in there, I apologize. She is in 5. All right. Let's get a little isolation here with the lead 3. White cap to the left, that is Annie. Red cap in the middle, Sophia. And then to the right is Andrea. That last turn, or this turn, for the majority, everybody is 250. Let's swing down. It'll be a 300 yards here. 32.91 for Sophia on that last 50. This is 350 yards. Lane 4, Sophia continues to lead. Then Andrea in 5, Annie in 3. That is lane 6, Nanami. We're going to swing all the way down the other end. Lead group seeing 15. So the lead group coming up to the right wall, 16 or 400 yards. 4 lanes to go for them. "17 lanes complete on the left side. We'll have a bell lap on the right side. Lane 4, Sophia. There's the official. $50 to go. 4:51.49. She's splitting a 32, so 21:23. Sophia came in 5:28. Not to jinx anything, I think we're improving a decent amount on that. Again, 5:28 seed time for Sophia here. 5:31 for Andrea and a 5:35 seed for Annie. Nice swim, ladies. Low time there, Sophia, 5:23.43. That's 4 3/4. Nice improvement. Annie, 5:28, dropping a 6 or 6.5. Awesome job. All right, that's going to be the final race for the ladies. Here we go, heat 1 of 2 for the boys. Record holder here for the boys, 2024, Ethan Hand, swam 4:48.95. Our low seed is a 5:02 by Cole Barnes in the next heat. In the pool, though, we have Yasan, Max, Luca. That's 2 through 4. And then 5 through 7, Mason, Patrick, and Hunter. If you are jumping off, hope you enjoyed the coverage. This is Mike. We're back at it tomorrow and Sunday. All right, guys going out strong there. Low split on the front 50, 30, 22. So this is the last event for this session. Then we have a short break, and then we're back for the finals. So the Friday finals slated to start at 5:45. Those move pretty quick. Should be pretty exciting. We have some talented swimmers coming back from a good morning of racing. All right, names on the top right are your Heat 2, the final race. They'll be up next. Swimmers seeing a 3 there. I'm sorry, a 5 there. We'll have a 6 on this side. 150 yards complete. All right, lane 4 leading at this point. This will be 8 lengths complete, 200 yards complete. Luca first to turn at 2:12.29, followed by Mason 2:13.6. Patrick 2:15.02. All right, Luca in 4 continues to lead, followed by Mason from New Jersey Race Club. And then third in that turn was Patrick Meyer. Let's get a little closer here on the guys as they're coming up to turn. This is the lead 3 swimmers. Left to right is Luca, Mason, and Patrick. .300 yards complete. Take a look at Hunter in 7. We'll give a little camera time. Yazin and Max 2 and 3 are recorded respectively. Lead group left wall. They've drawn even there, so Mason is pulled up even with Luca. They'll be at 400 yards, the lead 2 as they go to the right wall. This is 400, 4 lengths to go, 4:31.53. .17 lengths will be having a bell on the right wall. There's the official with the white shirt. And a 33.95 split there for Mason. As you can see, the counter's shaking it, trying to motivate the swimmers. And into the finish down here, 2 swimmers. Big push, both guys, great effort. Mason goes low, 5:38. He came home 32.6. How about Luca coming home 32.4? Both low 5:38s. Good camaraderie there. Not teammates either. Scarlet and New Jersey Race Club. 5:46 seed time for Luca, 5:48 seed time for Mason. Mason, the big drop there, drops over 10 seconds, basically 10.1. Awesome. I said it before, I should pick up an ice cream sponsorship because anytime somebody drops 10 seconds, that's deserving of ice cream. So we'll work on that, see if I'm invited back in the future. And you parents are probably even too young, but I would say I'd park a good humor truck outside, but All right, I'm with you. Madeline Myers, 8940. Let's go, Brock, up there in lane 1. Final race for this session. We have Brock, Andrew, Brandon, and Cole, Diego, Misi, Logan, and Austin. And if I am mispronouncing any of those, I apologize. There are a few swimmers that will enter either a nickname or a spelling as part of the entry. So I don't know how many times people are mispronouncing a name, but that is something that the coaching staff has the capability of doing it. So, or could just shoot it in the chat or an email if I am really off. So I think hockey, with the number of Europeans and Canadians and so on, they actually do put a phonetic spelling suggestion as part of the game sheets. So if you ever look up like a Canadian college hockey game, you will see the spelling for this players. So, all right, little side note. Now you know. All right, Cole in 4s, sub 130 at the 150. Nice front 150. Cole came in 5:02.24. So that's averaging, since he has 20, it's averaging just over a 30 to give him that 2.24 beyond the 5-minute time here. So it's really impressive with that time, 5:02.24 coming in. OCY, Ocean County YMCA. That is Cole's team. All right. This is 9 lanes complete. Right side will be at 250 or the halfway mark. All right, so on the board, those are 250 splits. Let's give a little camera time up here. Lane 1, that's Brock. Like the cap, Brock. All right, lead group will go forward. Here they are. This is going to be 300 yards, 12 lengths. All right, so running order is 4, 5, 6, 3, 2, 7, 1, 8. All right, a little camera time for Austin here in 8, getting lost in the crowd. This will be 400 yards, 16 lengths for the 4, 5, and 6, lane 4, 5, and 6. Cole, Diego, and Misi. Similarly for lane 3 and 2, Brandon and Andrew turning there at their 400. We'll be on a bell lap as they return. All right. Brandon in 4 came in on a 5:16. That's a nice drop there. 5:13 and change. Again, that dashes is not a DQ. It's purely a backup time that the backup timer was pushed. Nice drop. 5:14 for Diego. And Misi with the 5:15. Misi dropping a bunch. Came in 5:22. That's awesome. Diego dropping 2 seconds. And Cole's time better than that. He was 5:13 and change. That time posting is just purely because after he finished, it's when he touched the wall to stop the clock that way. All right, folks. So that's going to wrap up this session. I'll stay for a couple seconds, just make sure we don't have any ties or swim offs. We did have one earlier. All right, that's it. As we see all the timers dispersing on the right-hand side. So this is Mike, Common Guy Sports. We'll sign off now. We'll be back for the finals for the 13, 14, and 15 and overs. Should be starting, what is it? It is 5 o'clock now. 5:45, so we have a quick turnaround. All right, folks. The stream will be available to...
Check 1, 2.
Oh, DJ's in the house.
Thank you, timers. Thank you, officials. Thank you, Be Smart. Warm-up will start at 5 p.m.
All right, warm-up starts in 4 minutes. Moving quick. We're going to do a quick reset with the new information. We'll be back on the air with the new stream. Look for it. It's going to say Friday Finals. Not Friday Follies, Friday Finals. All right, again, hope you enjoyed the coverage. We'll see you soon.
Stop.